Hey, are you here? I am. Let's see if you're coming on. Yes, I'm here. I'm here. Well, in one spot I'm here. I'm not here in all spots. You know it takes a few minutes, right? It takes a few seconds, I should say. I don't know why it takes so long because so many of you get on before I'm able to connect. I'm working on it. Okay, somebody is here. Ah, it is Ann Bill. Ann Bill, you're here and I'm not quite ready yet. I don't know why it takes so long. And Bill, how you doing? What's going on in your life? And Pat is here. Oh, you just got to roll with the punches. You know that, don't you? Oh, maybe the internet's slow. I don't know. I'll tell you, freaky things happen sometimes. Sometimes, and I think I've said this before, sometimes in the middle of the night, our TV in our bedroom will just turn on. And we didn't do it. I mean, the clicker is not even near us. Okay, it's clear up on the couch. And the TV will just turn on. And so sometimes, like right now, my internet is really slow. Can you hear me okay? I can't tell who you are unless I get my phone to bring it up. And she is just having a hard time. I'm assuming you can hear all right. I've pushed all the right buttons. Yeah, it is. So I think I told you the other day because we had some flooding over in our Airbnb next door, right? Well, we've gone over a few times because now we had to pull some carpet, had to relay it and everything like that. And 2 or 3 times we've gone back over. Nobody's in the house. We just go in there and check on things, and the TV's on. What's with me and TVs? I don't know. I don't know. Hey, sound is good. Okay, I got a new mic, and I'm not sure if I plugged it in correctly. I'm just trying it out, but we'll see. We'll see. Mavis in California, how is the weather? And Bill, you're building fences in your yard? It's not time to build fences. It's cold out there and you got snow. Mindy, it is not supposed to be cold and cloudy in Whispering Pines, Arizona. You're supposed to be nice and hot and sunny and desert. What's going on down there? And Teresa, oh, you're going to West Valley City, huh? You must have a grandchild performing somewhere, maybe. I don't know. Yes. Oh, Mavis, I'm so excited. It's going to be fun. Right now, I'm just making all the kits. And I'm having a lot of fun doing it. I really am. Just start thinking about it and thinking, oh, let's do this, let's do that. And the reason we have 3 projects is because I couldn't settle on one. And I wanted to keep going. So in case you don't know what projects we're going to do, this is one. And I think she is so cute. Cute little mini pillow. That is one. And then this project bag. And this is what we're going to start with to get us rolling. And we're going to put that zipper in right there with a triple cover stitch. And it's going to be a fun, easy project. And then, of course, there's this. And I have called this the mat with no limits because you could eat on it. You could put a plant on it. You could put a candy dish on it. You could hang it on your wall. You could do anything you want. And after you make it, you're going to want to wear it. Okay? I don't do garment sewing, but I can wear a quilt anytime. So that's kind of a mini quilt because you're going to learn all these different ideas that you can do on a quilt block. Yeah, a quilt block. I always thought that mini quilts were nothing more than just one block of a big quilt. So anytime you do a mini anything, even this right here, this could be a quilt block. But all I did was make a pillow out of it. Okay? Because sometimes in these classes it's just too hard to get a whole quilt done. So we just do one block. So we're just going to do a table topper or something like that. In fact, one time I was making a quilt, a big quilt, and it was a little complicated. And I think it was one I was creating, so I was writing it as I went. And you know what? That big king size, excuse me, I must be tired. This daylight savings is killing me. So this big king size quilt turned into a table topper, and that's where it stayed. I don't know if you guys do that or not. And Gwen is here. Oh, I'm so glad you guys can hear. Rainy and wet in California. Hi, Alice. I'm glad you're here. Hey, you know what? Somebody else, Alice, has asked me if I can do a virtual class on this little pillow. And I would love to, but these 3 patterns are reserved for in-store events. So we have to have an in-store Triumph event near where you live, and then I can do them. Really? This is the first class you've taken since COVID hit. Oh yeah, it's going to be fun. The prairie points on this serger are fun to do, and they're not hard. But there's little tricks we're going to do, and it's going to be fun. You'll see. All right, so I have some fun facts today before I get into something funnier. By the way, I'm picking up 2 new little chicks to replace the ones that I lost last week. Tomorrow morning, new little ladies. I'll have to take a video of them. All right, so tell me if this is true or not. These are some fun facts that I found. There are only 4 words in the English language that end in D-O-U-S. And I'll bet you this is not true. I'll bet you before we finish today, you're already going to have some words that end this way. So the 4 words are tremendous, horrendous, stupendous, and hazardous. All right, get your thinking caps on. Prove me wrong. I want to prove somebody wrong. All right, this is another fun fact. If you have cats, a cat has 32 muscles in each ear. That's why they can go like that, whatever they do. All right, here's another one. And prove me wrong on this one because I think this is incorrect. Most people fall asleep in 7 minutes. 7 minutes. Is that what you guys do? Sometimes not. Hi, Alice Argyle. I haven't seen you in a while. Valerie, you have made it. Okay, we need to speed this up because Valerie's got to go to bed. We know that because she is burning the midnight oil to be here. And we're happy that she's here. Very definitely. I want to draw your attention to another class I have up. And we've talked a little bit about this one. But this is the Sergelicious, and it's coming up on April 17th. Boy, you can't even see the whole thing there. All right, so this class, April 17th, and it's going to be at 10 o'clock in the morning, and I am so excited to do this with you because we are going to do piping. Right in there, you can see there's some piping. This is a triple cover stitch. The back side, we have flat lock wave. We have ruching, and we have installing ribbon with the serger. And that means I just put the ribbon in the slot and it sews it down. And then we are going to bind it all the way around with the serger. All right? So I really want you to join me for that class. This is the first live class we've had in a while. So I'm excited to do it. And the more people we can get to join in and have fun with this, then the more classes we can have. And I've already got some more classes coming up that I want to do this one. In fact, I came up with one this morning and I thought this will be so much fun, but haven't made it yet, but I want to. I want to do it with you. Oh, so Alice said that Siri said 83 words and in D-O-U-S. Some are very obscure, I'm sure. And, I knew that couldn't be right. I just wanted, I never thought about asking Siri. Never thought about it. And Valerie, I saw that you just signed up for this class. Thank you so much. I'm so excited. In fact, I looked over the class list yesterday and I thought, oh, this is going to be fun. This is going to be really fun. We're going to hang out all day long if we have to. I want somebody to bring donuts, so you know how I love donuts. Well, speaking of things that I love, oh, it's really sad because you get things that you just really like. And you know what? Why not? So I like Peeps. So what? But Easter's not even here yet. And I just consumed my last Peep. I'm not going to buy anymore. I'm done. I can't. I mean, last week we did the Pepsi Peeps, right? Well, so my daughter, one of my daughters, and her sweet little children gave me this. Have you seen this? Crazy is, in fact, I got on the Peeps website one day. There are so many things you can do with Peeps. So many. You can have a pincushion. They'll be sticky, but you'll have a pincushion. All right. Okay, I'm going to open this. I'm anxious to see. I just got them yesterday, day before, but they were so excited to give them to me because they know I like Peeps. All right, because look on the front of that. There are marshmallow, it's blurry, marshmallow flavored, it's blurry still, cereal with marshmallows. Okay, we got to see what this is like. Are you ready? Oh, I need to get the scissors. My paper scissors. Not my sewing scissors. Oh, look at this. There is even a fun game on the back. Oh, my. I'll have to frame the box. Too bad I can't make a bag out of the box, huh? Okay. I might have to dump some on my table here. Do you think I can get away with it? I've got to. Do I have something to put it on? Okay. I'm going to break all the rules. Let's see, what have I got here? Okay, wait for some rules to be broken. Okay, here's the back side of my Serger because I got to see these. Okay, you ready? Oh, they look like, oh my heck, they look like Cheerios. Now that you can't even tell what that is. Oh, I think that's a chick. Come on, give me a bunny. Oh, I found a bunny. Okay, there is a bunny right there. And there is a chick. They look like a bunny and a chick. All right, I got my bunny and I got my chick. Okay. I'm going to eat them. I wish you guys were eating along with me. I'm hungry. It's the end of the day. Wow. That's kind of good. They really just taste like Cheerios or Fruit Loops. I know, Valerie, they're so tiny you can't even tell what they are. Oh, look, I have a blue bunny. They have all different colors. Now, there's one I could bite the ears off of. All right, you didn't see that. Here, I've got a blue bunny. I have yellow Peeps, yellow chicks. And, oh, this one's got better ears. Look at that. I might have to frame this one. There's my bunny with the ears. Would you look at that? I know, everybody's going to have... I haven't seen these in the store. I don't know where she found them. Maybe she ordered them. Yeah. Well, oh, here's another bunny. You know, I like the bunnies the best. Okay, this one's going to have to go on the wall. I don't know. I know, that's silly. All right. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, they sounded crunchy. Well, the Cheerio part is crunchy. Okay, I'm going to put all of that away. I have just used up my Sergelicious mat. Put it to good use today. All right, we're going to set them over there. We're going to get down to business. Are you ready for some business? Let me see if there's any questions. So Valerie, the Sergelicious class will start at 5 o'clock your time. That is pretty late. Really, we won't be going that long. I think we can get it done pretty quick. Alice says, I ask Siri for everything. My son tells me to Google things when I ask him for help. Payback for the years I told him to use the dictionary and encyclopedia. Well, I am still patching my son's favorite Levi's. All of my sons, they'll bring me their Levi's. In fact, my granddaughter is going to bring me a pair of pants tomorrow to patch, because you don't want to give up your very best pair of pants that you love so much. You just get them broken in and there's a hole, right? So they don't mind helping me, not a bit. Alice, will this project work on your victory? It will, to a point. Like, you can do piping. You can't do the flat lock wave, but you can substitute, like, there's stitches we can substitute for that. You are not able to do the cover stitch in the bottom. Now I'm going to carefully go back to this because I have my peeps in there, right? So you can still do the piping. You cannot do this one, but we can substitute a stitch for that. And the ribbon, we might have to do like a serge and merge using your sewing machine too. But yes, your victory can do a lot of this. So don't be afraid if you don't have an 8-thread serger, you can still do it. We're just going to do a little merging with your sewing machine. Does that make sense? I don't mind serge and merge projects at all. In fact, it gives you a chance to use all of your machines, and why not? So Alice, if you want to, join me, all right? Because I would love to have you there. All right. I know, I feel bad, Alice Jackson, that I sat and crunched them while you guys were listening, because it probably did sound pretty loud. I'm sorry for that. Okay. Speaking of sergers, we are going to talk a little bit about a serger. Let me go back over to here. I want to show you some things that you can do on your serger. Right here, because I love sergers, and people just totally don't give them credit for all that they can do. And they always think, well, if I'm going to do a 4-thread overlock, that's all I want it for. But it does so much more. And Alice Jackson, you will know that because you've got yours and you use it all the time. All of these prairie points were created on the serger. There's just fun things you can do. And of course, nothing can ruffle as fun and as easily and as well as the serger. But this stitch right here is the one I want to talk about today. This one up here is called the flat lock, and down here we have the rolled edge. Do you know the difference between a rolled edge and a rolled hem? If you don't, I'm going to tell you, because here I am going to tell you anyway. A rolled hem is where the upper looper and the lower looper meet at the edge of the fabric. So it makes it a balanced stitch. So you've got upper looper and you've got lower looper, and the fabric rolls under. And when you go to a rolled edge, you still have the fabric rolling under just like that, but now you have the upper looper that is wrapping all the way around, and the lower looper becomes nothing more than a needle stitch, a straight stitch. So your upper looper goes all the way around. That means that's the only thread you're going to see. So if you were doing a project that had 2 different colors on it, and you wanted to do a rolled edge around the edge of it, and you wanted red on one side and blue on the other, then you would do a rolled hem, because then you would have red thread and blue thread, and they would meet at the edge of the fabric, and they would match the fabrics. But if you had one color of fabric, or if you wanted to just have one color of thread wrapping around, then you would do the rolled edge, and that means that the upper looper would roll all the way around to the back, and that's all you would see. And I love the rolled edge for that many reasons. All right, so there's some stitches that you can do, and here is another way. You see, I like to put ruffles in a lot of places because I think they are so fun to do. And here again, I have the rolled edge right here, and I have the flat lock. And look at that. If you wanted, you could even weave ribbon or put the ribbon behind that and give it an even better look or a different look. So this is the I don't know whether to call it the front side or the back side. This is one side of the flat lock. This is another side of the flat lock. And what I want to do right now is show you, and so that you can do a flat lock in your projects, I want to show you the difference in how you're going to thread this up. Now, right now, I am set up for a rolled edge. Nope, a three thread overlock. That's all it is. Of course, there's not much difference between the two. So I'm going to just stitch this out. So there's a 3-thread overlock. That's all it is. Now I want to go to a rolled edge. Do you remember how easy that is to do? There are 2 things you just have to change, and that's all. And now I'm in a rolled edge. If I had different color threads in my loopers, then you would be able to see a difference. But I did the one where the upper looper rolls all the way around, so it's the rolled edge. That's my favorite one to do. I just think it gives such a pretty look. And there is my 3-thread overlock and my rolled edge. It's just that easy. And of course, to go to let me pop 2 things back. To go to a gather, that's how easy it is. And you know, if you want to gather it even more, and maybe you've got a fabric that's not gathering as well as you want, you're just going to sit and pull on those edges right there. And the 2 threads that are the shortest are the ones that you will pull on, because those are the needle threads. I might have just tied mine in a knot. I think I did. So it's not going to work so well. But I will just, I want to be able to pull that through, and I've tied it in a knot. So that's not going to work. But what you'll do there is just pull the needle threads, which are the shorter ones, because of course the longer ones are going to be the loopers, because they have to loop around, and you just pull on those threads and it will gather it even more. Okay, but the one I want to talk about is that flat lock, because I think so many people are just afraid to use it. All right, I have my right needle in, so I'm going to go to a flat lock narrow. And of course, you've got your quick reference guide, but I want you to pay attention to how this one's done. So to begin with, I'm going to cut my threads. I'm going to cut my looper thread, because I know that one has to change. And I'm also going to cut my needle thread, because I know that one has to change. All right, and I'm going to stitch them off. That's my favorite way to change stitches, is just to stitch it off. And now I'm going to pull my upper looper out, because I'm not going to need it. And I'm going to pull my needle into a different spot. So this is normally the place that I would put my upper looper, right here in this channel right here, right? Well, this time I'm going to put my needle in there. I'm going to thread it the same way through the needle, but I'm just going to take it through my looper area. And I don't have to thread any loopers, because I've got my lower loopers already in there and it's in a good spot. So I just have to line, I'm on the Victory, by the way. I just have to line up my green on my hand wheel over here and thread my needle and pull it through. And it's stuck on my needle threader. Come on, guy. Go through. Don't be stubborn. Okay, now I've got my threads threaded. All I have to do now is to close my subsidiary looper. Say that 10 times. My subsidiary looper. I don't like that word very much. All right, so I've got my subsidiary looper closed. So I am ready to go. I am ready to test my stitch, but I want to double check my settings. I've got to have it in B selection. I do. I'm going to have it on 3.5 wide. and that's right there. And I want my length to be at about a 3. Okay, so now I'm going to go. And notice right here is where it tells me to close my subsidiary looper. All right? It's not very often that we close that. Blanket stitch, flat lock, ladder stitch, you're going to close it. All right, to do a flat lock, I'm going to fold my fabric in half, and I'm going to line it up with, so I have one needle in. And you know those notches on your foot? That tells you where the needle is going to be. I wish you could see even closer. Maybe I can get you closer for a second. Oh, wow, that's really close. Now, last time when I tried to do this, I shut my camera off. So hang on. All right, right there, I'm going to line the fold of my fabric up with the inside ledge, or my foot right there, not the notches, because if I line it up with my notch, then it would miss the fabric. My needle is going to land right there on that notch right there. So if I line it up with that notch, then my fabric won't even get caught. So I'm going to line it up right with the inside. There's a little protrusion at the top. I'm going to line it up with that. All right, let's see what happens. I'm going to move you back out. You don't want to be that close. Okay. All right, so I've got my fabric folded over, and I'm going to line it up with that notch. And actually, if you used your lace applicator foot for your machine, that acts like a 1/4-inch foot with a guide. It has that little bar on the front that you can move back and forth. You can actually line it up and have this be a perfect stitch. I have stitched this out before sometimes, and I get kind of a wobbly stitch because even though you think you've got it right where it needs to be, sometimes it just isn't where it needs to be. Oh dear. I hear something going on in there, and I don't know what it is. Boy, isn't that the brakes. Okay, I need to redo this one. Something is not right inside there. Here I'm trying to show you a wonderful stitch, and something is wrong inside. I've got some threads getting all bound up in there. Should we take a commercial break? Could we? Oh, you know what's happened is my subsidiary looper has caught on one of my threads right there. You can see it's getting all bunched up on that. This is good to know. So if that ever happens to you, know that that little guy sometimes can stick his nose in where he shouldn't be. And let's see if I can get this to go back without having to rethread everything. I am going to pull this. Do you like live action classes? I do. I love them. Because we are live today. Okay, I'm going to try this again. We'll see if it's going to get caught on that again. I don't know why it did that. I've never had it do that. All right, let's try again. Oh, the sound is much better. All right, there we go right here. So it looks kind of loose, doesn't it? Loosey-goosey. Okay, I'm going to try, before I go out of this one, I'm going to do it the other direction so you can see the difference. So this one is sewed, those sides together. Now I'm going to do the other side. All right, let's come back over here. I want you to see how this works out. So you can see I sewed. You know what bugs me about sergers is all that thread. There is thread everywhere. You can't avoid it. All right, so I have one sewn one way and one sewn the other. You can see how that worked out right there. But now look what happens when I pull on them. because that's what a flat lock does. You pull it, and see, here is, I think this would be called the back side, and this is the front side. But either way, you see how that works? Isn't that nice? Both sides are very usable and something you would love to see on your projects. So why not? So find a place where you can use that flat lock seam and see what you can do with it. Isn't that pretty? Now, if you wanted to put two fabrics together using the flat lock, you could. I wouldn't pull on it too hard, because if your fabric is a little prone to fraying, it might just pull right through. But look at that. Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? Can you see some fun places to do that? Now, if I use my left needle and did a flat lock wide, then this would be much wider to put maybe some ribbon through. And, you know, you could put it down a few, up a few, down a few. That would be really fun. All right, does anybody have any questions? Nobody's asking a question at all. Was that clear as mud? I know you all want to get your sergers out and do a flat lock stitch. The only thing I want to caution you on is how it is threaded. Use your quick reference guide. I'm going to show you a blanket stitch. Now, you saw that. Let's get that focused in here, ladies. Come on. Oh, there we go. The flat lock is threaded differently, but I want to take you down to the blanket stitch down here, and I want you to see how that one is really threaded differently. All right? So this one goes down through the looper and then pulls up before it goes up through the looper eye. So if you're going to do a blanket stitch, go to your inspiration guide. It'll tell you more information on it. But definitely check to see on this quick reference guide how you thread it, how it goes down and through. Just pay attention to that, because they've already figured it out for you. You don't even have to do anything. Right? Right. All right. Does anybody want Peeps again? I'm not going to eat any. My husband has been waiting for me to open the box so he could have a bowl of cereal. So maybe that's will be supper tonight. I don't know. Oh, whoops. I don't know. Oh, hi, Tara. I'm glad you joined. Good to see you. Tara lives up the road from me. All right. Does anybody have any questions? And now that we know there are 89 different words that end in DOUS, I am going to ask my friend over here that I can't say her name or she'll talk to me. Maybe she's the one that's turning the TV on at night. Or maybe we talk in our sleep and say, turn the TV on. I don't know. It's crazy. It is crazy. It's really weird. I'm glad I don't live alone. If I lived alone and the TV popped on, I'd be crazy. Did I ever tell you I lived in a haunted house once? For 4 years we lived there. And we knew they were there. And we stayed. I have some stories I could tell. Totally. All right. Here's another fun fact to end our day. Stewardess, nope, I'm going to put an ES on it. Stewardesses is the longest word, now you're going to have to Google this one too, is the longest word that is typed with only the left hand. Do you ever wonder why your left hand has to work harder than your right when you type? Because I'm right-handed, but yet they say most of the letters you type are in your left hand, which I think is kind of, oh, I wanted to tell you this one. This one was good. This just popped up somewhere. I don't know where it came from. I didn't like Google fun facts, but I like this one. The characters of Bert and Ernie on Sesame Street were named after Bert the cop and Ernie the taxi driver in It's a Wonderful Life. I didn't remember that Bert and Ernie were in It's a Wonderful Life. I can't even say that. Probably because I need to cough. The characters Bert and Ernie on Sesame Street were named after Bernie the cop and Ernie the taxi driver in It's a Wonderful Life. Isn't that cool? All right. I hope you wrote all those down so you can share them with your family. Valerie said she was on a Zoom meeting yesterday and suddenly her friend up there, that I can't say her name, joined in the conversation. You know what's crazy? She'll do that. I don't know why. And sometimes she'll just start talking. I mean, I didn't even know I talked to her. And if ever there's a commercial on television where they say that name closely, she will blurp in, right? Hi, Heidi. Oh, well. Oh, well. Tomorrow's Friday. The weekend is here. Are you guys going to do something fun this weekend? I hope so. I hope so. I just booked tickets to the Blue Man Group for my husband and me. I don't know. I've never been to it. But we're going to go because I booked it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. You got to have fun in this time of life, right? What's life for if you don't have fun? I've got one more thing. Have you got time for one more thing? I don't have my facts totally straight on this, so I'm not going to give you a website to look at. But if you Google it, we've been talking about Googling it, try this one. And maybe some of you have read this study. I guess it's been studied and written up in manuals or, medical manuals or whatever many times, at least 3 times. Is that many? That water changes, the molecules in water change according to what it's exposed to. Have you ever heard of that? I read this study and I loved it. It was out of Japan. This fellow that wrote this article was out of Japan. So I want you to read up about it and tell me what you think of this. Because they said if you say kind words to a glass of water, that it will have a beautiful, and they'll take a little bit out and put it under a microscope, but it has beautiful crystals and snowflakey looking water. It's just very calm and beautiful. But if you even tell another glass of water how awful they are or say rude, mean things to it, it changes the molecules in that water. I know, it sounds crazy, doesn't it? But it is. I read this, and that it will be all like this. And the same thing if it's exposed to hard rock music, it will be all like this. But if it's Mozart and Beethoven, it is very calm and beautiful, right? And they even talked about water that is prayed over is calm and smooth. But if you shout and scream, this water is not. And so they relate it to the fact that our bodies are made up of like 95% water. So when you say nice things to people, it changes their molecular structure. How about that? If you're mean and throw insults at people, even if it's just a joke, that it still hurts a little bit and their molecular structure changes. Have you guys ever heard of that? Nobody is saying the thing. Are you just sitting there with your, really? That's what she said? Well, she did. She said that. So I'm gonna Google it again because I've already read it, and now that I thought about it a little bit, I want to read it again and think about it some more because I think it's really important that we treat each other with kindness, and I think that has a lot to do with it. In fact, we have our water right here. Here's my water. And and a lot of people put these little stickers on it, right? If you are covering your water bottle with happy stickers, you're going to have happy plants. Oh, excuse me. I just read your comment, Heidi, that you talk to your plants. If you put happy stickers on your water, you're going to be drinking calmer, happier water. I know. It sounds crazy. Will you please read it so that I don't feel like a total fool here? Yeah, and Heidi said she talks to her plants. I do too. I talk to my chickens like they're my best friends. When I walk out in the coop, I'll say, "Hi, ladies. How are you doing today?" And when I leave the coop, I always tell them goodbye. Like I've got to go out there and tell them goodnight in just a minute. I think it makes a big difference. I just don't think we even comprehend what can go on in this life, right? All right, well, it's time for a bowl of peeps. Thank you so much for listening to me rattle on today because I kind of did rattle. I hope you learned something about the Serger. and that you will try it, that you will learn to love your machine, because really that's my whole goal in life, is that everybody will love their machines. No matter what machine you have, no matter what you're making with it, even if you've never sewn or haven't sewn in years, get it out, express yourself, make something, and you'll feel a lot better. It's kind of like talking nice to your water, okay? So I'm going to go talk nice to my water and go see my chicks. Valerie says she does the same thing to her chickens. You bet. We have to. We love them. And when I walk into the coop, they all come right over and start pecking at my legs and at my feet. And they'll get up on the roost and they'll want to talk to my face. But that's how they talk. Like a dog will lick you or smell you. Chickens don't. That's how they communicate, is with their beaks and with their feet. They walk on my feet all the time. And I love it. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today, and have a great weekend. Do something fun. And I don't remember what we're doing next, but if you'll go sign up for this class that has peeps wrapped in it, sign up for this class. We can hang out a lot more. I'm really looking forward to this. I cannot wait to sew with all of you. I cannot wait. And we will do it again. All right. Thank you for joining me, and have a great, great weekend.